Welcome back, football fans and Chiefs fans in particular. We have updates for you. Things are changing in Kansas City on that defense. Make sure you like, sub, and hit that bell if you are new to this channel. You've never seen me before. My name's Ryan. This is Ryan Going Rogue, and I cover the Kansas City Chiefs in the NFL from a performance coaching standpoint. That's my background. They have some signings to take care of. You saw earlier that they signed Justin Reid, or they will be here. They've agreed to a contract with Justin Reid to fill out their secondary. They've lost a member of their secondary. We'll get to that in a second, but they have retained their edge rusher, Frank Clark. They've reworked his contract to cost them in a 2-year deal an average of what they would have just about had to eat had they let him go. So very, very low in terms of the upside there. It allows Frank to stay in Kansas City, ride out his off the field issues, and try to get back to what I think should be a first, second down kind of power end role, without making the Chiefs put that money down the drain. It allows them to get something for their cost without just cutting ties and letting it go. I think this is a last option for Frank Clark. And I do think that this is the last way that the Chiefs can make something out of this signing. It still gives them some upside. It does not preclude them from drafting somebody to be a pass rusher in the least. I don't know that that's Frank's designated role anymore. I can see him in a NASCAR package, but I can also see him sliding inside or being a first, second round rotational player that gives way to a younger, more explosive speed rusher type that I think are readily available in this draft class. Frank Clark, it's 29.5 over the 2 years, extending him that evens that out and makes that doable. So you have at least one starting edge that you can put out there on week one and understand that you have that squared away. Doesn't mean that they're done in free agency. Certainly doesn't mean that they're done in the draft for the edge position. I expect him to get bigger, faster, and stronger. Faster being the key one to get after the quarterbacks in a quicker fashion than what we've seen. They need to create a lot of pressure. That's going to have to happen, but they will have an elder statesman on the edge position to guide them through that at this point. Secondly, they have lost Charvarius Ward. I know they'd been trying to bring him back, but in the end, the market for Charvarius was just too high, something we had theorized for the last couple of weeks. And that is 3 years, $42 million, over 26 guaranteed. That was not something the Chiefs were going to be in position to match, especially given that they had to replace Tyrann Mathieu and they have other positions that they're going to have to pay out. They're already over the cap until this maneuver. Expect for them to have all the other things tick through. The restructure on Frank will help. You'll get the money back from the roster bonus conversion for Patrick Mahomes, giving them some cap relief, but it's still just not enough to get Charvarius Ward under contract at what is going to average, $14 million a season. That is a hefty, hefty price tag for a player that you've seen grow up and you've seen progress, but I'm not sure they're ready to make that kind of investment in him. So that takes them back to the draft. It makes the cornerback position that much higher in the draft scenario. So that's good because I think there's some volume to be had there. There's some options to be had there in the draft for the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll talk about some of those specifics as we go through, but think of names like Booth, like McDuffie, some guys that I think might be overhyped now, but are going to have a chance in Kansas City, as well as the edges. There's a lot of things to get accomplished, but right now they retain Frank Clark. They lose Charvarius Ward. So a bit of both bites of the apple in the negative and the positive. I probably would have preferred it to be switched, to tell you the truth, but this is the way that the cookie has crumbled. They are bolstering the safety position in another video. You can find that here on the channel. It doesn't make all the sense in the world to stop here. So they have to keep digging. I do think there could be another signing. They may decide to just shore this up in more direct ways as we move forward. There's still a potential Tyreek Hill extension out there that could reduce their cap casualty as well, give them more space to work. We'll have more on that as it goes forward. And I'd be remiss if I didn't just throw in, hey, Mike Burton, welcome back to Kansas City. Knew this was coming, but very happy to see it. So folks, like, sub, hit the bell if you're new. Make sure that you're here for all the offseason changes. It's very late tonight. You'll be seeing this in the morning, but there's more to come, I am sure, for the Kansas City Chiefs. They just chose tonight to make a lot of their things come true. So that's it for today. Have a great day, and we'll catch you next time on RGR Football.